Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Facebook Live for Artistic Artifacts. My name is Andy Martin, and I'm here with Betsy Carlson, a BERNINA educator, today, and we're looking forward to talking with you about all things Q Series machines and the different frames that you can use with them. But we do have a couple announcements. We are really excited. We just booked a BERNINA Roadshow for 17 October. So be looking at the newsletter for information on that.
Very popular event. You're going to learn a ton.
And that's all about the Pro Series. So the new Pro Series machines. That same weekend, we also have Creative Quest. That's 17 to 19. And we're going to have several demonstrations and a lot of specials going on that weekend. And then on October 31st, we have a 990 and Pro event, which again is going to be really great to learn about all the features. So if you're interested in a 990 or interested in a Pro, certainly be looking for the information in the Artistic Artifacts newsletter so that you can sign up for those events. And please, if you're signing in, please give us a hello and tell us where you're coming from today. We've got such a great community, and we always love to see where everybody's at.
If you came from my page on 9-Patch Sewing Company, tell them, because this morning I put it up on mine too.
Awesome.
Say,
awesome.
Come
Thank
visit.
you, Betsy.
Yeah.
So Betsy.
I tagged you on Betsy, not
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So Betsy, you're here. You're doing 2 days of classes here for us at Artistic Artifacts, all about the Q Series and and then both on the sit down as well as on the frames. What was your inspiration to start long arming?
Well, luckily me, I have been on the BERNINA event team. It's almost 13 years. And after a few years, they transferred me to the Q Series. And I have been quilting since I was 16. Have been really intrigued by long arms for years, thought about buying one around 2000. And just didn't. Life was in the way. So then I joined this team. And I needed to get a long arm. And so I was certain I was going to get a sit down because that's what I was used to doing for years since I was 16 when I ordered my first Marty Michelle kit from a ladies magazine and did a log cabin quilt as you go that's golds and browns still in my closet. But I had been doing this, right? Mm-hmm. So then I started doing shows and realized, well, I need to know how to use Q-matic. So I ended up with a Pro Frame, a Q24 and Q-matic. And I've had mine about 6 years. What I love is when I finish piecing, no matter what it is, because we all know we make the quick quilts and we make the, spectacular quilts. I don't have to think, is that one worthy of a long armor? Which way do I go? Mm-hmm. I am not a huge fan of making quilt sandwiches. And that's what you have to do if you're putting it under the needle and you're ppishing it. Here, we load the back onto leaders. Let's come on around. Yep. We can kind of give an idea because leaders, that's like a foreign word for a lot of people. So this heavy canvas that we have on here is called the leader. And so I go from this bar under what's affectionately called the dead bar up to here, the take-up bar. And that is my backing. So I put that on. Then I lay down my batting. I do a straight line. Then I line up my quilt top with that. And now I put all 3 layers onto the frame, and I never have to deal with the weight of the quilt sandwich. And quilts they grow in weight, right? As the bigger they get. And the thing is, say that this was an art piece I had. I could load that on there, bring my leaders to it, and I'd have backing that went beyond it. I could do that. I could do a king-size quilt on here. Actually, we were doing the math yesterday for a customer, and really we figured out a king. It's interesting. California king is longer than a queen or king, which are the same length, but it's actually skinnier. Most quilts, you can load them head toe. It doesn't have to be head toe. And then, I like 130-inch quilt because we have a thick mattress. We both tug at the quilt, etc. And so I can do these enormous quilts and I'm floating along as I quilt.
Right.
So it just made it so much easier. And I didn't have to think, this one's not worthy to pay somebody. Oh, do I have to schedule the time to get it done? I finish piecing over here. I walk and I can put it right on a frame.
Mm-hmm.
So when that baby pops out after a mere 10 months, I mean, and suddenly it's here, you can just go ahead and get it done and not have to say to a long armer, oh my God, my crisis is your crisis. It's really not their crisis. And I did that once years ago where, at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, I brought a quilt, to my friend Terry, who long-armed it for me. And she said, I feel like we're doing a drug deal. And she got it done for me so I could enter it in the show the next Tuesday. So, it gives me control over beginning to end.
Yep. And, and really by being able to go everything from yardage to finished quilt, that truly is an expression of your creativity.
It is, because there's a lot of people, the things I hear at quilt shows. Oh, if somebody else quilts it for you, it's not yours. Well, I mean, that's a reality for some people. Some people despise quilting. They love piecing, right? They're a top maker. Chris is pointing at herself. But also, if somebody gives me a quilt and they say, do this, okay, I'll do it. Unless it's a custom and then I can do whatever I want. But as I'm going along, sometimes I think, ooh, why didn't I try that? Mm-hmm. So you think you're going to go one way, but now you have that flexibility to do whatever. I enjoy that part. I enjoy the control, and I enjoy the results. And I'm never going to get mad at the quilter, and say, well, why'd they do that? Why did they,
Right. And then, one of the nice things about the Q series on the frame, you can do free motion or you can do automation.
Right. So we have this little sample to show that. And this is Claudia Donnell. She's a wonderful digitizer, and I think it is called her Hocus Pocus quilt. So this is done on a Bernina embroidery machine. So all of this was applique, her stitching. Her techniques are outstanding if you're interested in doing something. I learned so much from her. But then, like, you're zoomed in on here. So see the dots on the hat? So then I did pebbles in the background. So this is free motion, right? Here's ruler work where I went around the inside of each of these because I like to define the areas. I went free motion around the words, but then here we have spiders coming down and all the way to here where we have the Waterfill Ahura thread, which is available here at Artistic Artifacts, and it glows in the dark. So leave this hanging as you would, but what fun to be able to change a little decoration, just put on your quilt hanger, etc. But it was great fun. You can see how, this was free motion quilting and stuff in the background, which actually was even kind of hard to see what I was doing because I used the matching color, and by golly, if you do that, it's amazing what it can do. But also, I get such flexibility with threads, on this machine. I have used from 100 weight to 12 weight threads on this machine. And when you look at this wall, just remind them, the Artistic Artifacts, their selection of threads, is stunning. I mean, this is just a color explosion in this store. So when we have it, let's do the one with the Tiffany blue on it. So when it comes to threads, you have such variety. This is spaghetti. The 12. We'll come back and we'll reset.
Okay.
All right, we're back. Oh God, don't we love technology? It's a good thing. It's a bad thing.
No, you're not. Oh, yes, you are.
All right.
There you go.
Flexibility is the key to life nowadays. All right. So we were talking about threads, that you can get so much thread with Deco Bob. It is an amazing thread. And if you're an English paper piecer, it's also amazing. This is Invisifil. It's 100 weight thread. This quilt is all done with 100 weight thread. It's medium gray. And yet I could use it on all four of these colors because from any distance, all it does is look like a shadow of itself, right? And this, by the way, is all done with Q-matic. So this is an exercise, borders and corners. You can find it on weallsew.com, which is Bernina's blog, or the Big Book of Long Arm Quilting. And it's all about, we imported designs, and that is easy to do. You're going to get 700 designs or so with the Bernina Q-matic. But in addition, you can go to OESD and buy designs. If you go to Artistic Artifacts main page and you see the blue butterfly that says OESD, then you can buy designs and give Artistic Artifacts the sales credit, which is great. But when you're looking for designs that you're going to do on borders, look how we went here, and then there was a corner piece. Amanda Murphy is very good about digitizing and giving you that. Here, these little loops, see how even they look? It's because I didn't do them. I did that because I used Q-matic. And so I put it in there, then I put in the corner piece, and incorporated it all together. And then this incredible, I love this feather, and it comes down, and again, but with Q-matic, you can make everything fit. So sometimes there'll be at shows and people say, oh, that's cheating. That's cheating. Well, I say if you've got the skill set to be able to use Q-matic, it's a whole nother, it's just a different skill that I'm employing, right? As opposed to others. But again, it can be either one. And this sample that just came on over, and a reminder, we use domestic needles in the Bernina. So most long arms use a commercial needle, which means it's a round top needle. You have to find the front of the needle. You put it in, you turn it 2 to 5 degrees. That establishes your timing on the machine. But in a long arm group that I'm in at home, a friend of who owns a major brand will say, everybody gets the same type of thread, brand. When I quote for them, they can have their own color, but I don't want to have to change my timing with my needle. And I think, I do not have time for that. I absolutely do not have time for that. So I have a needle here that I can go ahead and I could just pop it right in. And because it's a domestic needle, I also have a needle threader. So that's very helpful for a lot of people. Notice how the foot keeps popping up? That's because we also can put the foot up. And so I'm pulling away thread because we have electronic tension discs. So I don't have a spring on the side that's controlling my tension. Instead, I have a bobbin winder. So I'm able to wind my M-class bobbins, which are the biggest bobbin on the market, right here on the side. I have a hand wheel on the side, which is unusual because when you think about this, if I was facing this direction, this is the front of my machine, right? If we're at a standard sewing machine. So I have a wheel over there, but I can't reach it. I'm 5'2". So we gave a wheel up here. So if you need to make an adjustment, we on this one have a needlepoint laser. So I'll pop the foot off and look at that. And for those of you with other long arms, you said, wait a minute, how'd she just get that foot off so fast? I didn't have to get out a screwdriver or a quarter to change my foot. I just go like this. And I have about 13 different feet that I can put on. So right now, this is my ruler foot with a cup clip. So when I go off the edge, I don't come back and hurt anything. The needlepoint laser, what it does is it helps me with alignment. So on this panel that we've got, we could actually go ahead and pick our rectangle, put it in, pick the 4 points, and we'll resize. And down here, we did it. And you take a regular rectangle, and now it looks like we did ruler work. So it's no ruler work, which is a mouthful, but I know the dots aren't quite right, but look at that. So I managed to, when I stitched this panel, this 18 inches of space is our maximum that we're going to get on a Q24. So we have Q24, it means 24 inches from here to the back. That gives me 18 inches or a 12-inch block on point. Q20 gives me 14 inches or a 10-inch block on point. A 16 will give me 10.5 inches or a 6-inch block on point. Okay. So I determined that since this was my 18 inches that I had on my machine, I used markers and everything else to do the whole thing, stitch it out, and never use what you would think I would have used was rulers to set that all up. So it's kind of fun. So yep, right here, this is it finished. So incorporating, taking this design, using 4-point positioning, it snaps right in there. It resizes itself. Taking a couple clamshells, putting them in there. Triangles to snap to point. This cute little airplane border. Go along. Again, because I could buy the corner piece, I could take it along, bring it on. Now here, I cut it off on the edge of a wing. But here, I stopped right there because I would have had a wing that cut off. So what I did is I took the design into a program called Art and Stitch, which is a $1,000 program, which comes with your Q-matic. Q-matic is the automation part. And you don't have to get Q-matic. You could just be a free motion art quilter. God love you. But sometimes I incorporate both of them. And if I'm going to So for a customer, I am doing generally 99% of the time, I'm going to do Q-matic because it's an edge-to-edge design. I could be doing something else. It's far more economical than if you hire me to do custom. If I can't do that, then you're going to pay me more. Now, you, smart man, he is learning art and stitch. So you would know, you can go in here and you can just remove stitches.
Right.
So sometimes people think art and stitch is supposed to be such a complicated program, but as you're learning it, can you see how it could just be used in bits that you don't have to be a certified art instructor? What have you found in it so far that you really like?
So the nice thing about art and stitch is that you see the design, then you put it into stitches. It will virtually stitch out, and so you can see if there are securing stitches that would go back and forth and would create a knot or a nest on the back of your quilt. You can take those stitches out with art and stitch. You can easily go back and forth between the design or the artwork and the stitches to create that custom design that you're looking for.
So the fact that he knows art and stitch is huge. Most stores I go to, they'll be like, "You'll be fine. You'll get it through osmosis. Have a good time with that." So here's the art and stitch. I just tapped the icon, it opened up. One of the first things to know is that if you hit the help button, user guide base, it's right there. And you could go today to Art and Stitch and you could download this. So I have this on my tablet. So then you could go right through here, and it's got an amazing index. So you can go and say, I need to do this. Then when we go along, this is an important page. What the heck are all those icons? And it will show you that. But then I love that here's your first digitizing design. Click, 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 right clicks, left clicks. You'll have that. And now you've created an edge-to-edge design because these 2 points start and stop on the same plane. Okay. I'm going to make that quiet. Do you want to show them where to find the library and things? I had to laugh. It took me forever to find the library because who would have thought a blue star would be the library?
Right. So right over here, the library icon, and then these are all of the different designs that are loaded into Art and Stitch. So then this gives you the basis to start from, and then you can go and customize from there.
You can build it up. So here is a Baptist fan. I could have gone and paid like $13 for a Baptist fan design, but instead I grabbed a design out of here, and we'll just do Carly Portier Anchors Away. So it's going to be a single thing. But when we look over here, copyright notes, it just is art right now.
Right.
That's why it's called Art and Stitch. So as a piece of art, we can modify that. One time I wanted to do elephants, and a single elephant was $3.99, and elephants in a parade was like $14, and I thought, dang it, I'm going to figure this out. So I went in and added some stitches, so the trunk had some stitches that went to the tail, right? So by just doing this, now it's simple as this. We go and we select this design. There we go, double tap. And then right here, running stitches, trying to do this so you don't see. Do you think if you did your arm? Yeah, it's better because then you're not in the way. And then look at this. Now right over here it says single run 2.0. Boom. Now you have to activate this, and the store hasn't activated it because when it goes to consumers, this is very tightly controlled security-wise. They don't want people stealing their technology. Then this little icon right here is the icon for Q-matic. If I tap that, then that design would go right down into my design area in Q-matic. So boom. Now I go save it. I have it in my design library, and away we go. So let's look at the design library, because that's one thing you think, well, how do I get designs? Tap. I am now in the design library, and right now we have Amanda Murphy and OESD match all tags. Oh, no. All right. It's not going to match. Oh, but there's Amanda Murphy. Then it will be cross. What if I want Amanda Murphy blocks? Now I'm down to blocks. What if I said feathers? Now we'll bring it down further, or flowers, etc. So these tags, these folders, we can put designs into these. And if you're an embroiderer, you know, don't just start putting designs on without labels, because otherwise you'll never find the flamingo in the holiday hat that you know that you put on your computer. Those who know me know I like flamingos. It's somewhere. I know I bought that design. So then I went in and I modified it. So we're going to close it. And you just go into your design library, manage tags, and we can just add. So I added a file for my creative stitches. I think they make really nice designs. I added one for triangles because I find that sometimes I need a triangle and I would like to be able to pull it in. Aggie Burgess is our product manager in Switzerland, and she digitized the Tool of Pink designs. But Aggie, that isn't going to mean as much to all of you. Now you'll know who she is. But if I wanted to, I could get rid of Aggie's file tag. It's just like peeling the label off your manila folder, but I will still have the Tool of Pink designs that she did. But you have a lot of control over all of this. And then you can even go in here and design tags, and I could pick this, and I could say they've got it under flowers and leaves, OESD, and pantograph. So by doing that, it helps you find things in the future. So even if you're in a hurry and you buy from, by the way, Patricia Ritter is Urban Elements. So I would probably relabel that Urban Elements. So now you go and you say, I want an Urban Elements design. You just go ahead and you pick that. Mm-hmm. So even if you don't want to put the other categories in, if you think, I know I love that design from her, I can do this. It's easy peasy. So let's show you real quick a fun party trick. So we're going to throw this Amanda Murphy triangle right up here, okay? And you say, oh, look at that lovely design. And now what we're going to do is come on over to our machine. Well, we usually call it a head. So you're thinking, wow, you've got that big computer over there. Other companies have tablets right there. I get that. But look I picked the design. I have that huge area to do design work. But when I need to do something, it's right here on my head. So it doesn't matter if I'm at the other end of a 12-foot frame. I'm still good to go. So when I look at this, I can move this. And even if I had to fine tune it, I can pick this and I'll have micro move, and I can just use my handles to do little tiny movements. And I set it. Boom. All right. Now I'm going to come down. And I am going to, oh, I shouldn't have hit the other button. Let me do it again. So I'm going to take this, and I failed to hit this part. Okay, I'm going to use the sew head. I'm going to do a 2-point, and I'm going to maintain ratio. So no matter how big that is, I've got a half square triangle. And look it says 2-point boundary on here. So if I start at the start point, I'm going to pick this as my start point. I'm going to go right there, and I'm going to hit set. And now I'm going to hit the second button. So watch that, because when I hit the second button, you'll see what the fun. Look at that. It just flipped into position. I know, ooh, ah. And it sized itself for that piece. So then I can say, yay me. I pick another one. It's the same one, right? Because we don't morph a morph. All right. I'm going to use the sew head again, 2-point. But this time, I'm going to say, this is my starting point. So starting point doesn't always have to be at this top. So we're at the starting point again, but I'm starting at the bottom. Set. And now I'm going to go to the top. And Miss Chris, go ahead and show them the screen. Because now when I do this, look at that. So now they're together. And I have formed a block with them, half square triangles. And now I want them to sew together. All right, so Andy, go ahead and do our connect, not multiply, but connect. And we're going to go ahead and attach those and tap the blue one and hit check. And now we have a complete block that we've made out of 2 pieces. Then we could even go ahead and make 4 blocks out of that, connect it. We could make a whole cloth quilt out of that. We could just set it all up, let it stitch out. The possibilities are endless. When you get your Q-matic, initially what you're going to do is edge to edge, almost guaranteed, because that's what we do. That's what's practical. But this is when after a while you go, but what if? And because it's your own quilts, you can experiment. You have your ones that are treasures that you have worked so hard on. I waited 2 years before I did an Amanda Murphy sewing room sampler quilt because I had put so much work into it. But then everything, I did ruler work, free motion, Q-matic on it. Did borders, and you can, by the way, do all your borders and you never have to flip your quilt. You just have to use the attach feature, keep coming down. You size it all in advance. It's a treasure, and then people think you're brilliant because you figured out how to use technology. So if you have used any embroidery software, a Cricut, a Silhouette, the concepts are the same. This isn't going to be that hard. And let me show you one quick thing. So I know we're getting towards the end. Say I pick this and I go in here.
Anxiously waiting to come in.
I know we are starting a class, by the way. I hit question mark. Oh my gosh, there's the directions. So they're right there. You can also download the Q Series Mastery book from Bernina. Just Google Q Series Mastery, Q-matic Mastery that will help you with this. You can go to bernina.com and look for Bernina long arm support, Q-matic, and look for version 3 Q-matic released in March 2023, and you'll have amazing information on what the possibilities are. But here's the key. When you buy the machine, you are buying the dealer. Okay. So sometimes we can chase prices, but what I want you to know is here at Artistic Artifacts, they've made a commitment. A number of people run this machine. So you're not going to come in the store and they're going to be like, no one's here today that knows how to do it. Andy's working on art and stitch. Very few people take that step. Martha is here regularly quilting and she uses Q-matic. So you have a staff, you have a support team, and you have great prices. So we're having an event today, and I'm going to take students through the sit down right through, Q-matic. And that's already going to start in a couple minutes, so it's too late for that. But hey, the prices are available for all of you. Mm-hmm. So if you're anywhere in the DC area, you don't have to live right here. They do drive, they deliver, and they set up. So I think you can feel very confident in buying from Artistic Artifacts. And I am glad I didn't buy that first long arm in around 2000 because this is so superior. I truly believe anything on the market, you are going to love it. And I monitor all the Facebook, social media, all that. And we have very happy customers. So go big or go home. If you can do it, always buy as big as you can. Because I never have people say, I wish I'd bought smaller.
It's a big day.
It's a big day. It's a big day for long arms and for Artistic Artifacts. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Betsy. Thank you so much for everybody. And you did this on Q-matic too.
Yeah, exactly. I always get my Buy Annie bag fabrics ready.
So you're able to, again, you were talking about, showing the small ones, but again, so many options, so many possibilities.
So the lining, the soft and stable, did all that. You know what? And this is from the electric slide quote for Tulle Pink. We know what we pay for fabric nowadays, so I was not getting rid of those 1.5 inch strips. So I sewed them together, just make a seam at the bottom, sew that together, and there you go. I have my little tools that can go along with me.
So fun. So do we have any questions for us before we head out?
No.
All right.
We have lots of love, and Kathy Buck, who's a really good friend of Judy's, who is a Bernina dealer, said she just needs more space.
Well, okay. So my husband and I go to estate sales, and when I see somebody who is a sewist, and then I see an ugly couch, and our ongoing joke is, if she had gotten rid of the couch, she could have gotten a long arm. So really evaluate, because your kids don't want your furniture. I'm telling you, they have already established their own homes. Get what you want, okay?
Well,
all right.
Thanks so much, Betsy, for walking us through everything.
My pleasure.
Thank you for joining us today. Please give us a like, subscribe, and a share, so that you can catch all of our future, live streams. And if you aren't already subscribed to the Artistic Artifacts newsletter, go to artisticartifacts.com, scroll to the bottom, and